The people are asking for the Minato versus Toby Rama debate.
Oh,
yo, man.
Minato. The only reason why Minato is better than Toby Rama is because Minato didn't have enough time to fuck up before he got killed.
But I want to know how Toby Rama fucked up, though.
See, exactly. Like how do you?
Putting Konoha on the path to kill the Uchiha.
Are we doing this?
Wait, pause.
Let's do it, man.
I mean, surely that doesn't.
What did Toby Rama do?
Let's pick.
Listen.
Wait. Okay. What did Toby Rama do? He promulgated the false rumors that Madara wasn't responsible for creating Konoha, which is absolutely not true because in the flashbacks we know that Hashirama and Madara came up with the idea together. So he fucked up there. Promulgating rumors that the Uchiha clan is based on hatred and the Sharingan is based on hatred. Those, even at that time, that was a rumor. He didn't know that was true, but he did nothing to stop it. That increased the hate towards the Uchiha, and then on top of that, he segregated the Uchiha. He didn't make them the police force because he trusted them. He made them the police force and put them in basically what amounts to a concentration camp so he can keep an eye on them. And all of this created the very foundations for the Uchiha massacre. So how did Toby Rama not fuck up?
Uber, man. Did you see those houses that the Uchiha lived in? They're fucking gardens, man.
Yes.
Gardens, man.
Yes, yes, and slavery would have been so much better if the ships that the slaves were brought on were more majestic.
Don't compare slavery to the Uchiha. Listen, man.
What you understand?
Listen, hold on, Uber, man. If you were in a war with somebody and you win this war, what, are you just gonna become best friends overnight? You're just gonna say, "Oh, I trust you now. Let's all hug and fucking say kumbaya." Of course, he's not gonna be trustful.
No. You don't.
At the same time.
And you don't have to be best friends, but what you don't do is put them on the path to destruction.
He made them the police force.
No. Time out.
He gave them power.
Listen, here's the problem with Toby Rama did. When you are a political leader such as himself, you cannot let personal feelings cloud your judgment, and that's exactly what he did.
Exactly.
He didn't. He made them the police force.
But you know
why did he make them the police force?
He made them.
He said he put their abilities to the best use as the police force.
Yes, and we know that's a lie from the flashbacks. We know that was a lie.
You never heard of the? You never heard? Wait, you never heard of the saying?
We didn't see Toby Rama reign. What you saw was Toby Rama in the midst of war, okay? And then
the war was over, bro.
No. Well, see, what you understand is that you're blaming Toby Rama for something that Hashirama did. It's like Hashirama is the one that made Toby Rama the fucking Hokage. It's like you're gonna blame Hashirama. Okay, so you're gonna be Hokage.
That's actually not true.
That is true.
That's not what happened. Hashirama wanted Madara to become Hokage.
Exactly.
So when Toby Rama forced his hand.
And then Madara declined him. And what was Toby Rama do? Spying out the window like a jealous ex-bitch. And then Madara says, "Oh, if I do this, then this is only gonna cause even more problems between me and Toby Rama. Not only that, I'm gonna take the high road out of here because your brother is gonna be the main reason why the Uchiha clan ceases and falls apart." And he was right.
Exactly.
No, he wasn't right.
He was. I mean, okay.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, here's
because
King.
No, wait.
King, let me ask you this question.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
I just want to ask one question.
Wait, pause.
How many Uchiha are alive right now?
Pause.
Did Toby Rama come back from the dead and fucking massacre them all?
Exactly what I say. When Toby Rama was alive,
he caused it.
No, wait. Pause.
Come on.
Yes, he caused it.
No way.
No, wait, hold on. Listen, like seriously, like you're taking Toby Rama's. Okay, Toby Rama, he made them the police force. He gave them power. Okay, he even fought with them side by side. And wait, listen.
All I want to say,
in the side by side with battle, and he acknowledged that the Uchiha were a quintessential core of the Konoha.
He had Uchiha people with his own personal guard. Like he was.
Because they were
discriminated. Listen, if he discriminated against the Uchiha, it wasn't shown. We didn't see it. You
Like,
can
dude,
assume
like,
he
you
did.
know what you sound like right now? You know what you sound like? You sound like the white people who say, I'm not racist because I have black friends. I can't possibly be racist. I have Uchiha personal guards. I made them the police force, so I can't be racist. Yes, you can be.
Here's the thing that's really funny about that. First of all, I guess you guys never heard the saying the blindfold, because that's exactly what he did. And two, he's not prejudiced, but yet the minute he found out Sasuke was an Uchiha, what did he do? He lifted up a finger ready to kill a nigga. Like, that's not prejudice at all.
Exactly.
He threatened the village. He threatened the village.
He did.
He threatened the village.
He had just been revived. He didn't know what was going on. His first impulse was, we gotta kill this Uchiha.
He said he was gonna destroy Konoha. That's why he lifted up his
and then he got fucking pissed.
No. Don't take things out of context. Come on.
Hey,
He said he was gonna destroy Konoha.
Hey, man, he did it before.
I mean, the fact that you think Tobirama's a good guy is taking it out of context.
But here's the thing,
I'm not saying that he's a good guy. He was the most pragmatic and realistic of the Hokages. Okay, he wasn't like Hashirama, who wanted to hold hands with everyone and say everyone's gonna fucking sing Kumbaya in the end.
No,
he was realistic enough to do that. The Uchiha were to be feared because their emotions powered their abilities.
Are you kidding me? The Uchiha should have been feared more than the Senju. The Senju were engaging in genocide just as much as the Uchiha were.
Yeah, that's
go back to Hashirama's flashbacks with his father.
I'm not saying one is worse than the other.
His whole clan. But that's the point.
I didn't say they weren't.
But that's the point, though. It's not that the Uchiha were bad and the Senju weren't, or vice versa. It was that they were trying to kill each other, and what they needed to do was to create a political situation where they could work out their differences without having to resort to violence. That's why I said in my review, war only happens once diplomacy is impossible. And Tobirama made diplomacy impossible. He made it so that Madara's only choice was violence. That's not how you resolve political disputes.
No. How is Madara attacking the village indiscriminately and killing people that he once was going to look over?
Because Tobirama ostracized him.
I don't get it.
Because
he didn't want him to become Hokage, he ostracized him.
That sounds like some bullshit. He didn't just ostracize him because he didn't want him to become Hokage. Not only did he not trust him, and his mistrust may have been well placed, but he engaged in false rumors. At least two false rumors that we know of about Madara and the Uchiha. One was that Madara had no hand in creating Konoha, which is even if Tobirama didn't know about the childhood flashbacks between Hashirama and Madara, it would still have been a lie because Madara only conceded because Hashirama was going to kill himself. So he knew that wasn't true.
Now
he was right there when it happened, and he still lied.
Let's make this a little bit more organized. All right. So what makes you think Tobirama is a better Hokage than the rest of them? And for me, I'm just gonna stick up with Minato, but the rest of them.
Well, like I said, I feel like he's
wait. Are you asking everybody in the live stream or just?
No, it's mainly pointed at King of Lightning and ZoroFanboy because they're Team Tobirama right now. Me and Hikari is. Oh, I don't know what the fuck team he's on.
No. My position is that they're all bad Hokages. They're all bad.
They all have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, they all have their pros.
Except Tsunade, who just has weaknesses.
Yeah, she just.
But as if none of the Hokage are people who you would want to be leaders of your village if you lived in the Naruto world. You wouldn't want any of them to be mayors of your city.
Well, I mean, I necessarily don't know about that.
Hashirama was bad too because he betrayed Madara.
Alright, so Tobirama went through one war and died in that one war, which was the first ninja war. Sarutobi had two wars go down under his watch, which was the second and third.
And the Uchiha.
But he allowed Danzo to go run rampant and didn't stop him.
Well,
right. And Orochimaru.
And guess what?
And Orochimaru, yes.
Guess why he had to let Danzo run rampant? Because of the mess that Tobirama left him.
I mean, listen.
He could have stopped Danzo at any time. Danzo was essentially
Konoha was doing it from the beginning.
He was like the dark.
But the thing was that he let
underneath, man.
He let the main. I mean, first of all, he didn't really let technically Danzo run wild. The only thing that we actually ever seen him do, and the only thing he let him, the whole thing with Danzo was he let Danzo pretty much take over the whole Uchiha massacre.
All right. So
that was the biggest thing between him.
So let me tell you why I think Toriyama is the best Hokage out of all of them. All right. Uber says fuck them all. Okay, I think Toriyama is good. All right. I think Minato's okay too. All right. Even though I'd say Fusion over Minato, that's a different story. All right. Here's the thing. All right. First of all, that's what I would say. All right. So the first thing is that Tobirama is the one who founded most of the organizations, the core of the village itself, right? He founded the academy, he founded the Anbu, he founded the Chunin exams, he founded the Konoha military police, he founded all these things that are quintessential to Konoha's current foundation, to Konoha's current structure. That's fact, okay? Toriyama did that. Okay.
There's a quote that supports that. There's a quote. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it says, during his reign, he was primarily responsible for establishing the Konoha's organizational system. He established various organizations such as the Academy, the Anbu, the Chunin exams, and the Konoha military police force, the latter of which he created as a sign of trust between the Uchiha and the Senju, who made up the majority of the organization. So there we go. So go ahead.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's the next thing, all right? The majority of the Konoha police force, which were the Uchiha, actually had complete faith in Tobirama. It was the few rogue Uchiha, like Sasuke's pops, like Itachi's father, who felt that they were being ostracized. Most of the Uchiha trusted Tobirama. It was just a select few that said, no, fuck this guy, we're going to make a coup, okay? So Tobirama, because he founded these things in Konoha, because he actually took all these clans together. Mind you, the Konoha just started off with 2 fucking clans. Then all of a sudden, these clans started to come together. Okay, and Tobirama was the one who organized it. He didn't just give power to the Uchiha so they could, organize, so they could maintain peace in the village. But also, he organized the system for the Nara clan, for the Akamichi clan, for the Hyuga clan, for all these other clans, to where
that makes it worse.
No. How?
It makes it worse because if he could work with all those different clans, why didn't he work with the Uchiha?
He did.
I mean, there must have been some reason why all those guys had to be killed.
Listen, Uber. Like I said before, okay, you're making it seem as if like it was all the entire clan that were like, yo, fuck Toriyama. No. It was the minority.
Matter, though, King.
No, but that's the thing.
It doesn't matter.
Okay?
I'm pretty sure there were a lot of Uncle Sams back during the civil rights movement. A lot of black people who were like, yeah, I trust the government.
The two aren't equatable, though. You're comparing, basically obvious blatant discrimination and hatred towards being kind of.
They're similar. They're similar in this way. Trust is not a standard for judging justice. The fact that people trust you doesn't mean that you're just. Why would that even matter? What matters is what you do. What matters is your actions. It doesn't matter if some of the Uchiha trusted Tobirama. That's not the question. The question is, did Tobirama act in a way that was beneficial to the village? And the answer to that is in some ways yes, but in some ways no, because his actions led directly to a genocide. I'm sorry. If your actions lead to a genocide, that's bad. I mean, this is just fact. You can't dispute this.
Listen, Uber. But what you don't understand is the simple fact that when he was alive, everything was actually well established. I mean, despite the fact that they were in like the first great ninja war with whatever village, okay, he fought alongside Uchiha. He died. Well, he died by himself, but he fought alongside Uchiha. He gave them power. He gave them the ability to dictate and manage the peace within the village. I mean, see, you want to somehow equate to racism. That's like making a slave like the leader of a fucking plantation or something. That makes no sense.
You don't know about this practice on plantations?
Yeah, there was.
You don't know about house niggers? You don't know about how some black people were made plantation drivers?
Yeah, that was a better,
Okay, fine.
No, my point is this. Questions about who's the best Hokage. Those are not the most interesting questions that Kishimoto raises in the manga. The most interesting questions that he raises in the manga is how to stop a blood feud. And not just a blood feud between families. We're talking about a genocidal blood feud. How do we assess the actions of people who are put in almost impossible situations where their cultural indoctrination is so strong that they almost cannot get rid of it? Those are the interesting questions that we should be looking at. Not about who's the best Hokage. I mean, I really don't care who's
about the Hokages. That's the thing. We're talking about the Hokages and their importance for the village of Konoha. The thing is, like, the Fire Shadow is that is their duty. Their duty is to protect the village. Their duty is to maintain peace within the village. They are the greatest shinobi of that time era in the village.
And it's not like, you know, the Uchiha had their own water fountains and shit. They weren't segregated in that sense. You know, they may have lived in a different part of the village, but each clan lived in their own part of the village. They had the same rights as any other citizen. They had the same exact rights. They
went to school. They went to the academy. They went to the Chunin exams. Exactly. They could go in the middle of the market and shop. They weren't discriminated against.
Listen.
They could do everything everyone else could.
If what you say is true,
it's just a select few.
Then why was there a genocide?
Because the select few.
Wait. It's okay. If there was a select few, if there were a select few Uchiha who were just irrational and who just wanted to overthrow the government, which really is not the story that we get in the manga at all. But let's just go with that for now. If there were really a select few who were just irrational, who just wanted to overthrow the government, then why were there no Akamichis doing this?
Huh?
Like I said, it's about pride.
Why were there nobody from Shino's clan?
Listen, the thing is, the Senju and the Uchiha, when they were fighting their wars, they felt they were equal major power. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the Uchiha, after a certain amount of time, time passed, and they formed the village. They wanted to basically. I don't know, they must have felt like they weren't that major power anymore. They must have felt that the Senju, since they beat them, they felt jealous. They didn't feel like they were that major power anymore because they weren't,
But you see,
that's actually explained because Danzo he mentions
it's all arrogance and pride.
That's part of Danzo's swaying of Itachi to tell Itachi to kill your clan. Because some of the Uchiha believed that Madara's right, and then some of them believed that the notions of Hashirama and Toriyama were right. Okay.
Except Madara was right.
And no,
it wasn't.
Listen.
Yes, he was. Are you kidding? Hashirama betrayed Madara.
No, listen.
Madara attacked the village like 6 times.
No. This was before. This was before that. Go back and read the flashbacks again from Hashirama and Madara. When Hashirama comes to Madara, and Madara is reading the Uchiha Stone tablets, and he's talking about the destiny and the Shinju and all of that. And Madara was talking to Hashirama, and he basically says, Tobirama's wrong, but you'll still defend him. And he says, even right now, you call me your brother, but I'm not really your brother, because if it came down to me versus Tobirama, you would defend Tobirama. And Hashirama didn't say shit.
If Madara would have just accepted a role in the village that wasn't the Hokage, a leader of the Uchiha to bridge the gap between the Senju and the Uchiha for peace, if he would have accepted that role,
he was already by that time he was already a pariah.
Listen.
He didn't have to be.
What do you mean he didn't have to be? Are you kidding? He was at that time he was already rejected by the Uchiha.
Naruto was a pariah in the beginning of the show. He proved himself to be more.
Okay, wait, Jouten. All right, Jouten. What? Jouten, say something.
All right, so Zoro, basically what you just said is false because Madara at that point he even tells Hashirama that the Uchiha no longer trust me. Because he felt as if the whole Uchiha clan felt like he was still stuck in the past.
Why is it? But that's Madara's own damn fault for not being trusted by his own people. Why is that Tobirama's fault?
But how is that his fault? He's part of the reason why the 5 villages were even created.
I don't know why did the Uchiha not trust him?
I don't know. Ask Madara. Ask Kishimoto.
That's what I'm saying. It's his fault. It's not anybody else's fault. If you guys don't trust me, is it your fault?
It's Madara's fault.
At the end of the day,
how is any of this Madara's fault? The Senju and the Uchiha were trying to kill each other before he was ever born.
Yeah, it's true.
The same like Tobirama and Hashirama. Okay, but
could have contributed to the.
Right, but that's why I'm saying that I'm not saying that Tobirama is bad or Hashirama is bad or Madara is bad. or Hiruzen is bad, or Minato is bad. What I'm saying is that they're complicated characters who made decisions, impossible decisions, under complicated circumstances. They're neither good nor bad. They made some bad decisions. They made some good decisions.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, but okay, well, see, and that's what I was trying to get to. What you have to realize is that when it comes to the reign of these individuals, Toby Rama's reign, out of all the reigns so far, you can, at least I can, and definitely Zoro can, and some people in the comments believe that he had the best reign. What you have to realize is that the one who agreed to the assassination and the destruction of the Uchiha clan, the one who said, okay, so a few of these guys are getting a little bit relentless, so we're going to kill the entire clan and make sure that they're all going to have a giant uprising, were Danzo and fucking Ryuzen. Okay, those were the two cats that said, you know what, it's go time.
You think Toby Rama would have did it? Okay, let me ask you this question.
It's hypothetical. It's irrelevant.
Let me just ask you this question: If this had happened during Toby Rama's reign, would Toby Rama have killed all the Uchiha too?
I wouldn't know. It's a hypothetical.
Oh,
situation.
Come on, Zoro. Let's stop that.
I don't know.
The fact of the matter is,
Toby Rama
the fact of the matter is, it didn't happen during his reign.
You know he would have done that.
I don't know, simply because of the fact that Toby Rama himself acknowledged that he had a strong bond with several Uchiha.
Even Hashirama had to check Toby Rama about his
what's the Uchiha's name? The Uchiha that was with Danzo and
Kagami.
Yeah, Kagami. Yeah. So he pointed out that he had strong connections with the Uchiha clan, especially that one Uchiha, and how he would fight alongside them in battle. Okay.
Above all else,
now,
despite what he said about his emotions, he cared about the village. That was it. That was the whole be all end all. That's what he wanted.
And
I believe
nobody cares about your good intentions.
I believe when Ryuzen was revived, he said something along the lines of he had failed his predecessor. Okay. So.
All right. So can I go now and say why I think Minato is the best?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now, here's why I think Minato is the best. Alright? I remember a long time ago, King of Lightning said this himself. Obviously, this no longer matters to him because he's clearly changed his mind. But we have two different occasions where King of Lightning doubts Toby Rama. One is actually up on YouTube in the Cloud Village, where he was doubting Toby Rama was actually even good at all. Go check that out. Cloud Village, Naruto Logical game on Cloud 9. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes. Go check it out. That shit's funny. And then the second one was when King of Lightning was like, fuck Toby Rama, he must be trash because he got killed by the equivalent of the Cloud Village's version of the Anbu Black Ops. Okay.
Fine. All right, time to change.
Let's get that out in the open right now. Now he's a Toby Rama lover. Fantastic. Okay. Now, the one thing that's really interesting to me about the whole Toby Rama Minato thing is that Minato did physically for the village what Toby Rama couldn't. Toby Rama couldn't stop a war by himself. As a matter of fact, he got killed in the war. Minato, on the other hand, saved the entire village throughout the Third Ninja War. He is the sole reason that the hidden Stone Village said peace treaty time. The sole reason. And even if you want to say, oh, that's filler, it doesn't count, this is also heavily hinted in the manga as well. When the guy comes on the battlefield, and what's the first thing a hidden Stone Ninja says? Flee on sight of Yellow Flash. The hidden Stone Village was fearful of Minato. Not only that, the Hidden Leaf Village, which is really funny because people say Minato is a walking contradiction because he's the fastest ninja in the world, but he's the slowest when it comes to saving people. But yet, people fail to realize that when the whole thing with Obito and Rin and Kakashi was going down, he was busy saving an entire Leaf Village platoon that was trapped by an entire Hidden Stone Village platoon. By losing one student, he saved the entire Leaf Village platoon that was getting attacked there. Then again, it happened in the attack of the Leaf Village. Like, he went in there, yeah, he lost his wife, but he saved his son and saved the entire village. But nobody want to say that. Oh, he's too slow. He's too slow to save everybody. And then, and then he does it again. He does it again in this current arc when he saved the entire alliance from a Bijou Dama. The entire alliance. So I want to get that out the way. Now, the other thing I also want to get out the way is that it's heavily hinted that because of Minato's reign as Hokage, the other villages didn't even dare think to attack the Hidden Leaf Village. That's why it was peaceful during his reign.
It wasn't peaceful during his reign. You just said that he saved the entire platoon from the Stone Village.
This is heavily hinted in both the
Well,
manga and his reign.
no village ever attacked Konoha. Not Konoha directly.
And there was no wars during
Only the
his
Ninetales.
reign. Well, the Hidden Satin village actually attacked when Hiruzen.
I mean, Obito attacked during Minato's reign.
Yeah.
Well, then guess what happened?
No, but Obito
I mean, like,
was
the-
Not only Obito, but a 15-year-old Obito.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he goes to 27.
like, think about it
Was
though.
he 15 at
Like,
that time?
He was very young at that time.
yeah, he was. But think
14,
about it
15
though.
years
Like he was able to, I mean, given it, let's just say that you're true, because I don't remember all this stuff, but let's just say that you're true about that. The end result is Obito, and that's a really bad end result, bro. That's a,
Well,
that's
wait,
a
time out,
terrible
time out.
end result.
What? But he's not responsible for Obito.
Time out.
That's true. That's
He was-
true.
He was absent during many
But-
times, but I wouldn't say he's directly responsible for
No,
Obito.
he's not. He's not directly responsible. That's for sure.
But I mean, Obito did say,
But
"Where's
I mean,
Minato Sensei?"
but I will
What is he doing?
say this about Minato though. I mean, even Minato to me is a suspect leader, and he's suspect because look at who he got to fight in the war. I mean, who were his students? A 13-year-old fresh out of the academy who couldn't tell his head from his fucking feet?
Do you talk about Obito?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing with Rin. She couldn't fight either. And Kakashi was a prodigy, but why was he in the war?
Wait, so you're saying
It
that?
is-
So you're saying that Minato like used kids and shit in battle?
Yes, that's exactly what he did. It's exactly what the entire village did during that war. They essentially used child soldiers, and we know that that they weren't the only ones who were using child soldiers. So
Yeah,
ask
I
yourself,
know.
how many people did Minato kill, and how many kids did he kill? I think the question you have to ask is, what is the standard for a good Hokage? Is the standard for a good Hokage merely that you protect the village by killing everybody else?
The point I was trying to make was not only, I mean, yeah, he killed many people. We don't know if he killed children or whatnot. That's just, jumping off the edge. But at the end of the day, just the reputation of the Yellow Flash as Hokage was more than enough to have people just sign peace treaties. Even before he became Hokage, even before he became Hokage, when he was just a Jonin, the Hidden Stone Village retracted from the war just because he killed.
No, I understand that, but the standard for whether or not you're a good leader isn't how well you can kill a person.
No, but it's how well you can protect your village.
Yeah, but that was directly related to how many people he killed.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
It was during wartime. I mean, you can't go in a war and say.
Yeah, during wartime, like when things started off, there was war, and then he was able to nerf that war, and then peace reigned. But that's the thing, though. Like, what I'm trying to tell you is that when it comes to war, okay, Minato's fantastic. Tobirama founded the current village. He is the reason why the current village is the way it is.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He didn't found it, but he said
he built the foundation.
In fact, he was against creating Konoha from the beginning.
Of course he was, because he didn't want to with the damn Uchiha that he's been fighting his entire life. Duh.
I mean, but then
Exactly, that was my point from the beginning.
Yeah, but
And he never trusted the Uchiha. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
but he did. No.
He
He did though.
Yeah, he
He didn't trust the
He
Uchiha.
created the
Whoa,
infrastructure.
listen.
He never truly trusted them. No.
Listen.
That's the thing. I mean, yeah, it's true.
Listen,
He created the infrastructure, but at the same time, he became Hokage, and he was the second Hokage. We don't even know when he fully completed the infrastructure of the village. But at the end of the day, it's like if you're there and there's no structure, somebody has to do it.
He's accredited for multiple things, and these are facts. All right. Shooting exams, the academy,
Okay, he's also
the Konoha police,
not to
and the
mention
Uchiha.
Minato wouldn't know Flying Thunder God if it wasn't for Tobirama.
That too. He's accredited for.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, let's not talk about let's not talk about his human experimentations for the Edo Tensei Jutsu then.
Yo,
If you want to talk about Flying Thunder God.
Let's not
listen.
talk about how the Edo Tensei is the main reason why this war is even going on. In the first
Hold on. Edo Tensei, yes, I understand. But understand this also. Edo Tensei could have been used for other things besides necessarily bringing bad. You know what I'm saying? Just because you create a jutsu that has multiple... Imagine bringing back
The
your mom that
jutsu
just died.
requires a human sacrifice. The only way he could create the jutsu is if he experimented on somebody.
I mean, listen, but that's the thing, though. It's like, I mean, like Tobirama was in the middle of. I mean, he was a part of the first. He was a part of the first.
Tobirama just came up with it on his own.
So I mean, like the thing is that like if you're gonna experiment on people during war, alright, fuck it then. I do you like I don't really care. Like if fuck it.
That's the whole thing. No, you can't just experiment on people because it's war.
Yeah, you can. What do you mean?
War doesn't give you a license to do anything you want to people
in the middle of war. If you can put children out in combat in the middle of fucking war, there's a so we can kill kids, put them in war, but we can't experiment on people. Like there's a fine line.
You shouldn't do any of that in war.
But it's war, and war changes people. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that point.
The reason why you say so Tobirama didn't want peace with the Uchiha, because it was fucking war. But once that war ended, once there was peace, and once he became Hokage, once he fought alongside with the Uchiha, then he started to actually gain trust. Did he fully trust them? No. Which is why he explains about how the Uchiha, even though he gave them this power, he was still
But when it's said by a character in a series to explain it, I'm pretty sure it'd be true.
Yeah. I mean,
no.
But the thing is,
when Hashirama was go back and look at the flashbacks. This brings up an important point about unreliable narrators and stories. When Hashirama was describing his situation with Madara, and there was the flashbacks with the whole thing when they were first revived with the Edo Tensei and Sasuke was there, and he was asking Hashirama. Hashirama said some things that were clearly not true based on what was shown. Like when he said that when he started describing when Madara transformed and why he started to attack the village, what Hashirama said wasn't what was shown in the flashbacks. He was a completely unreliable narrator. Just because Hashirama said it doesn't mean it's true. And just because Tobirama said something doesn't mean what Tobirama said was true.
But Tobirama is the only basis for that. Therefore, that's the only one we can take.
We also
there's no other person we can take from that time period other than Tobirama's word.
Yo, you got it.
Yeah, that's true, but it's kind of like how we had no other person but to take Itachi's word when he said Madara plucked the eyes out of Izuna's eye sockets, but that wasn't true either.
What?
Yep, that is true.
Yo,
Matt said I got some.
Can I just chime in real quick?
That was a story.
No,
no
go
one
ahead,
actually.
Maddie.
It's still a narrative, though. It was a type of narrative.
That was a story. That was a
trying to say
myth.
something, and that's speak.
Yo, I'm just gonna chime in just what I think about this little touching topic. And whenever you say who's the best Hokage, I think what you have to do is you have to define what a Hokage is and what the role of a Hokage is supposed to do. And a Hokage is supposed to protect the village in the best way suited. And the person that indefinitely protected the village and built foundations, for future coming generations of the Leaf Village was Tobirama. Yes, Minato has instances where he's regarded, he got the name the Yellow Flash from the war and all that stuff. But inevitably, Minato was the cause of one of the biggest threats to the world. Or he directly influenced it.
So you're trying to say he directly influenced?
I mean, Minato did say that Obito, it was his own fault for not paying attention.
It was.
He basically did say that.
He
said that himself. Minato was blaming himself.
It's not his fault.
He did say it.
Again, I understand Minato said that, but that doesn't make it true. Like
But
Obito's in the situation he's in right now because.
But Obito, when he was in with Madara and the whole Rin situation was going down, the first thing he said was, "Where is fucking Minato Sensei?" That's the first thing he said. Where was he doing?
Listen, what was he doing? Minato was too
even though that's true,
entire platoons, bro.
Right.
Entire platoons.
Even though it's true, what you have to realize is that Minato, in a sense, is just like Kakashi in this regards, where Kakashi takes full blame for Sasuke, or Minato takes full blame for fucking Obito.
Right.
All right, it's like this whole sensei, like
so
with this, I mean, you know, it's the same thing with Ryuzen and Orochimaru. It's the same fucking thing.
Right. Okay. Right? So with this logic, are we saying it's completely Jiraiya's fault that Yahiko went the way he went?
Jiraiya would be responsible.
Jiraiya left
because
Jiraiya
was
really
a
sensei. You know what I mean?
But no, he was.
But Jiraiya was.
For like a few years. Yeah, for like a few years.
They only spent a small amount of time together. Yahiko was an adult by the time that Jiraiya left him. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, they were fighting in a war for a
and then guess what?
They were still kids when Jiraiya left.
Jiraiya blamed himself for the way Yahiko turned out. So with
exactly.
Is Jiraiya, you know?
I would say
no, they're not. I mean, okay. In one sense, they're responsible.
Indirectly, just make it simple.
Yeah, right. In an indirect sense, they're responsible, but in another sense, they're not responsible. The world that they inhabited is responsible for this.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they inherited a world where the most idolized person is the sage of the sixth paths, who is a warrior prophet. They idolize warfare.
Sure.
That's who their role models are. Their role models are people who wage war.
Well, no.
And they inherited a world that had as a matter of fact, when Hashirama and Madara were born, the world was at war.
Yeah.
It was already a world war. It wasn't just the Senju and the Uchiha trying to kill each other. Everybody were.
Those were just the two prominent clans.
I mean,
right.
but like the ones that are very prominent about the whole peace thing are Hashirama, Senju, and Jiraiya. They're the ones who said, like, they didn't idolize war, they didn't worship war. More so, they wanted peace. They all wanted peace. It's just that like those two are like the most regarded for it because Jiraiya wrote a whole book about it. Like that book is quintessential. But Hashirama, he talked about how, you know, he wanted to make peace and he wanted to have coexistence. It was Madara's perspective that was different. Because Madara is like, okay, well, yeah, like I want peace too, but before peace, we need power. Because power, or like
exactly.
it was something about power, about how like you needed power in order to establish peace. Because people won't listen to you unless you have power, something like that. So Madara clearly goes along the line of the Sage Six Paths. Hashirama, he kind of doesn't. He really doesn't. He kind of strays away from that notion. But
that's where he fucked up too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, but then again, Hashirama didn't have a fucking pretty tablet to read and understand the world. So.
Point.
Well, I mean,
that's the main reason why
the tablets. Madara said this even before he found it. Well, actually, it's not clear when he found the stone tablets. No. He said this when he was a kid, actually. So
yeah,
this was before. This was before he read the tablets.
Madara read the tablet right before him and Hashirama had that talk and Tobirama was spying from the window. Like, right before that, he fully read the tablet, and that's when he was like, that's when he told.
No, Hashirama. He hadn't fully read the tablets then either.
No, because the only way you can fully read it is if you have the reading on. Right. But but I think But Hashirama says Madara says when he was a kid.
Right.
He was talking about how like you need power.
Right.
Power is quintessential. Like you must have it, otherwise people won't listen to you. Period. So.
Justice without power is meaningless.
Yeah. So I mean, in those lines, yeah, you can say that Madara follows that notion. But I think Hashirama, he kind of strayed away from that notion where he just wanted peace. He didn't want any wars, he didn't want any battles, he just wanted peace.
He was too idealistic in my mind.
Right, exactly. He was too idealistic. The same thing goes for Jiraiya too. Jiraiya, I think, is too idealistic.
And the whole situation is ironic because Hashirama was the strongest ninja there was.
Right. Exactly.
Isn't it? I mean, people like Hashirama annoy the hell out of me.
I mean, even Jiraiya.
Power and responsibility, man, is the whole thing.
Right. And then like Jiraiya, even he's like considered like the strongest of the Seinen, and he was the one who was the most idealistic amongst those three of them.
Right. I mean, Hashirama is like a white man. The white man who says race doesn't matter. Well, yeah, for you it doesn't matter because you're in a position of privilege and power.
No.
The same thing with Hashirama.
Yeah.
When Hashirama says power doesn't matter, well, of course it doesn't matter for you. You're the strongest motherfucker there is.
Exactly. But I think on that note, we've been going on this topic for a little bit. People are starting to know in the comments. I mean, it's a good discussion. Don't be wrong. We set our piece on. We set our piece on it. So,
I will go in.